Jai Gurudev. Om. Om. Sahana bhavatu, Sahanau bhunaktu, Sah Viryam karavavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudirayet. I think yesterday we stopped at the page number 400. Should I go little backward and read this topic or start from 401?
Yeah, yeah, you can read a little and then go forward.
Sorry, your voice was breaking. Okay, I'll read from here. The last ritual of a sannyasi. Arjuna's heart was not a apat sannyasa. He was not dying, but he did want to know. Therefore, he wanted to take Vividisha sannyasa. In sannyasa, one gives up all karmas, for which there is special ritual. The last fire ritual that sannyasi performs. You may see a sannyasi doing a puja, but you will never see a sannyasi sitting around a fire performing a Vedic ritual. Such a person has been freed of all obligatory fire rituals of all karmas. In fact, a sannyasi's last fire ritual is one in which all karmas are given up. In this ritual, the sannyasi bids goodbye to all the ancestors to whom there has been an obligation: father, mother, grandmother, grandfather, great grandfather, great grandmother, then rishis and devas. The person taking sannyasa says that the self knowledge will be pursued to the exclusion of all else. Ask for the blessings of paternal and maternal ancestors and takes a vow of abhaya, a vow not to harm any living being, including trees and plants. The sannyasi also vows to be non-competitor in this world and all others, thereby becoming a person who does not compete for the sake of status politically, economically, or socially. Knowledge is the only interest for the sannyasi. Having taken these vows, the sannyasi takes a few symbolic steps towards the north, the direction that stands for moksha. South stands for death. Thus, Lord Death, Lord Yama, is a southerner. This symbolism may be based on the polar attraction in the north. Death never attracts you, whereas freedom from death does. Moving towards the north in search of moksha, having discarded all clothing, the sannyasi is called back by the guru, given a set of simple clothing, and asked to serve and continue studying with the guru. This then is the ritual of sannyasa, be it either Vidvat sannyasa or Vividisha sannyasa. Both are mentioned by Shankara in his commentary. In Vidvat sannyasa, one may or may not take sannyasa formally. The main aim is that by knowledge one gives up all karmas. The knowledge is that I am non doer, I perform no action. This is this is what is called neshkarmya, the state of actionlessness. I perform no action at any time because Atma, which is I, does not perform any action, nor does Atma cause anyone to perform action. I am not a doer, in spite of all the actions I do. This knowledge is real sannyasa as described Jnana Karma Sannyasa. I'll just read last few sentences. I perform no action at any time because Atma, which is I, does not perform any action, nor does Atma cause anyone to perform action. I am not a doer in spite of all the actions I do. This knowledge is real sannyasa as described Jnana Karma Sannyasa. For the sake of this Jnana Karma Sannyasa, one takes to lifestyle of sannyasa, pursuing self-knowledge. The other Nishtha Karma Yoga is for all those seekers in the other ashramas. The purpose of Karma Yoga. There is no doubt that karma binds with its limited results. But if you do karma for antakarna shuddhi, for neutralizing your raga dveshas, for gaining the grace of Ishvara, if you perform your prayers, rituals, and duties for the sake of these alone, the karma you perform becomes a means, yoga for moksha. Sannyasa is only possible if you have lived a life of karma yoga. Otherwise, you become sannyasi who has raga dveshas and you will be miserable. A karma yogi has the means, a world, a field where his or her raga dveshas can be neutralized. Such a field is not there for sannyasi. Sannyasa means a life of study from morning to night. No other activity is available. A sannyasi cannot even sing much. A sannyasi cannot even sing much because the pursuit of music, along with everything else, has already been given up. Excuse me. A sannyasi is one who has to pursue knowledge for which a certain capacity to contemplate is required. If the pressure from raga dveshas is there, you cannot sit in contemplation. You will find instead all kinds of agitation, or you will fall asleep. After a few days, the lifestyle of sannyasi, traditionally indicated by wearing of orange robes, will become a source of irritation. Naturally, then, sannyasa is meant only for those who, to an extent at least, have taken care of their raga dveshas. The twofold Nishtha is meant only for Shreyas. Arjuna wanted Krishna to tell him which one was better, and Krishna replied that one can be sannyasi or karma yogi. Both are meant for the same end, moksha, shreyas. One can live a life of karma yoga and gain moksha, and one can live a life of sannyasa and gain moksha. The only difference is that for a sannyasi, there is only knowledge, whereas for a karma yogi, there is knowledge and karma. This difference must be understood well because this is where there is a lot of confusion. Arjuna was a karma yogi, not a sannyasi. By listening to Krishna, he was pursuing knowledge. Although grahasthas pursue other activities, they are qualified for knowledge. This pursuit of knowledge plus the performance of karma made Arjuna a karma yogi. If the pursuit of knowledge had not been there, if he had no discrimination, if moksha had not been the end for him, he would not have been karma yogi. He would have been a simple doer, karmi, karmatha. When moksha is the end in view, then karma becomes yoga because it is done with particular attitude in order to gain antakarna shuddhi, purification of the mind. In this way, karma yoga is important in gaining knowledge. You can take sannyasa and gain sarva karma sannyasa, or you can live a life of karma yoga and gain the same thing. Sarva karma sannyasa is an end in itself, for which the means is either of the two lifestyles, sannyasa or karma yoga, revealed by the Lord in the beginning itself in the Upanishads. I'll read this paragraph again. In this way, karma yoga is important in gaining knowledge. You can take sannyasa and gain sarva karma sannyasa, or you can live a life of karma yoga and gain the same thing. Sarva karma sannyasa is an end in itself for which the means is either of the two lifestyles, sannyasa or karma yoga, revealed by the Lord in the beginning itself in the Upanishads. Among the 10 Upanishads commonly studied, the first one is Ishavasya Upanishad. The first mantra of this Upanishad is meant for the sannyasi, the Jnana Yogi. It says in this moving world, everything should be looked upon by you as Parameshvara, the Lord. Isha Midam Sarvam. Isha Isha Midam Sarvam. The Lord being everything. What is there, that is yours. The Lord being everything. What is there, that is yours or not yours. Live a life of renunciation and pursue self knowledge alone. This mantra advises pursuit of this knowledge, giving up every other pursuit, is the life of sannyasa or jnana yoga, said Shankara in this commentary. Do you want me to repeat this? The second mantra of the same Upanishad says, even if you want to live 100 years, live doing karma with the proper attitude. And that attitude, कुर्वन्ने वेह कर्माणि जिजीविषेच्छतं समाहा एवं त्वयि नान्यथेतोऽस्ति न कर्म लिप्यते नरे कुर्वन्नेवेह कर्माणि जिजीविषेच्छतं समाह एवं त्वयि नान्यथेतोऽस्ति न कर्म लिप्यते नरे. This is also from Isha Vyasa Upanishad. The second mantra of the same Upanishad says, even if you want to live 100 years, live doing karma with the proper attitude. This is the best way for you. If karma is done in the proper way, it will not affect you at all. This is Karma Yoga. Thus, we see here the twofold Nishtha being unfolded, Sannyasa, wherein the pursuit of knowledge alone is allowed, and Karma Yoga, the pursuit of knowledge along with whatever karma is to be done. Throughout the Shastra, these two Nishthas are always discussed in the same way. Choice of lifestyle. In the Vedic vision, Shreyas is moksha. Moksha is the end, the human destiny to be gained in this life. Here itself, samsara is crossed. To have taken a human birth means that you have already made it. Because you have an intellect, buddhi, viveka is possible. It is true that experience teaches, but you do not need to get knocked around for 75 years to develop discrimination. 25 years are good enough. Once you develop viveka, Shreyas alone looms large before you. It becomes the only real end for you. I'll read this again. In the Vedic vision, Shreyas is moksha. Moksha is the end, the human destiny to be gained in this life. Here itself, samsara is crossed. To have taken a human birth means that you have already made it. Because you have an intellect, buddhi, viveka is possible. It is true that experience teaches, but you do not need to get knocked around for 75 years to develop discrimination. 25 years are good enough. Once you develop viveka, Shreyas alone looms large before you. It becomes the only real end for you. Then you become either karma yogi or sannyasi. The Nishtha was told in a twofold way because there are two kinds of people. But there is only one means for moksha, that is knowledge. Depending on the kind of person you are, you can either you can be either a sannyasi and pursue knowledge to the exclusion of all else, or karma yogi and pursue knowledge along with karma. In both lifestyles, the pursuit of knowledge is common. Knowledge is moksha. Therefore, the choice is not between dhyana and karma. It is between sannyasa and karma yoga. When the choice is between karma yoga and sannyasa, it is natural to look to sannyasa. Given a choice, why do karma at all? Sannyasa seems to be the better choice since performing karma implies so much effort, problems, and even bloodshed. Karma can be such a nuisance. When the two lifestyles are available, why should I put up with life of karma? The choice is like asking which is the better way to catch hold of my nose in order to do breathing exercise. Shall I take my hand directly to my nose, or shall I reach around from behind my head? It can be done either way. But when the first way is obviously so easy, where is the question of choosing? Sannyasa seems to be easier. Just give up all karmas and pursue knowledge. Why do both? A karma yogi living in an agricultural society, for example, has to milk the cow, graze it, wash it, and take care of children, among other things. One child is crying, the other one is on his lap, and the third one is tugging at him from behind. The mosquitoes are biting, and his wife is shouting. In between, he has to perform the fire ritual called Agni Putra Karma with all its problems. The firewood is wet, everything is smoking, and his eyes become filled with all kinds of tears. Tears born out of the smoke, tears born out of all the nagging children, tears born out of his helplessness, and so on. When will such a person have time to pursue knowledge? Whenever he picks up Gita book, all that comes is sleep. So true. Is it therefore not better to go for sannyasa? Arjuna definitely thought so. However, sannyasa is not as easy as it appears. It looks as though you need only sit and study. But try it, and you will find that it does not always work that way. Instead, you may vegetate all day because you are not able to study so intensively. This then is not the way. Thus, Krishna continued to tell Arjuna exactly what sannyasa and karma yoga are. Even though a choice is there, karma yoga will pave the way for sannyasa. It will even pave the way for desire, for knowledge, and therefore for Vividisha sannyasa. Krishna told Arjuna that sannyasa is not at all easy in spite of how pleasant and simple it appears to be. After all, sannyasa is giving up everything. Arjuna thought that giving up everything would not present any great problem, especially since he had lived in the forest for 12 years. But during those 12 years, he had been thinking about Duryodhana and the kingdom and the injustice of it all. 12 years of meditation upon Duryodhana did not make Arjuna a sannyasi. Arjuna had been nursing a big herd for a long time. Therefore, sannyasa was not going to come so easily to him. One does not become sannyasi by decision alone, all of which Krishna would tell him later in the Gita. In the next verse, Krishna began teaching Arjuna and real meaning of actionlessness with reference of gaining moksha. न कर्मणामनारम्भा नैष्कर्म्यं पुरुषोऽश्नुते न च सन्न्यसनादेव सिद्धिं समधिगच्छति. पुरुषः, a person, कर्मणाम, of activities,
Sorry,
anad.
Jai Gurudev, Renat.
हाँ,
Can we
yeah,
just wrap up this sloka before we go on to the next?
yeah. You said
This was
the third shloka.
third verse, no? Mm.
Hmm.
लोकेऽस्मिन् द्विविधा निष्ठा पुरा प्रोक्ता मया नघ
Hmm.
ज्ञानयोगेन साङ्ख्यानां कर्मयोगेन योगिना.
Zero. Hmm. It was on before. लोकेऽस्मिन् द्विविधा निष्ठा पुरा प्रोक्ता मया नघ ज्ञानयोगेन साङ्ख्यानां कर्मयोगेन योगिनाम्. So he has talked about the twofold committed lifestyles in this world. This world was, O sinless one, the twofold committed lifestyle in this world was told by me in the beginning. The pursuit of knowledge for the renunciates and the pursuit of action for those who pursue action, activity. He has talked about two nishtha, one for the karma yogis and one for the jnana yogis. You want to elaborate on this, Paramrata?
No, we'll just do Manana on this.
Okay.
Let's just share. So, what is the definition of the sannyasa? What is definition of karma yoga, and for whom is sannyasa and for whom is karma yoga? So basically, two lifestyles to pursue shreyas. Although we have four different ashramas, brahmacharya, grahastha, vanaprastha, and sannyasa. So the sannyasa ashrama is supposedly the most revered of the three ashramas, and it is a natural progression. But a person can take, and there are two types of sannyasas. One is vidvat sannyasa, vividisha sannyasa. Vidvat is where the person is already a jnani, whereas vividisha is the one who is still a jnani in the making. So he goes through this fire ritual where he renounces all his obligatory karmas, the nitya karma, naimittika karma. Therefore, he brings to his awareness all his ancestors, and he's actually releasing his obligation towards them. So he's only pursuing knowledge, nothing else. But in order to do that, sannyasa is not a choice. Although there are two lifestyles, it is not I can choose this or I can choose that. For sannyasa, you should have attained that eligibility. And what is that eligibility? Is to have had a, a certain amount of viveka and vairagya and some prowess in the Shat Sampatti. Then, and any ashrama you can take, like either brahmacharya or vanaprastha or grahastha, you can choose to become a sannyasi. And then there's a third type of sannyasa, which is apat sannyasa. Right? When your life is in danger, most people, because they believe, it's a belief that if you take sannyasa on your, for instance, towards you're about to die and you're taking sannyasa, you will get a better janma and then you can pursue wherever you left on the path of Shreyas. So that becomes apat sannyasa. Whereas for everybody else, karma yoga is the lifestyle. And that example of if you have to do breathing exercises, holding your nose, is it better to hold your nose directly or take it all around? So one can argue if knowledge is the way, and that is what Arjuna kept arguing. If knowledge is the way forward for Shreyas, then why are you asking me to do a roundabout karma, getting into more trouble? But although it seems like that, unless one is eligible, taking to sannyasa simply will not help because the mind needs to be enough prepared for contemplation. And that removing all the cobwebs in the mind, all the entanglements that ragadveshas cause, that is possible only through action, through karma yoga. Let all of us also share.
And here also it is clearly said Arjuna would not have been able to do this because all those 12 years he was meditating on Duryodhana, how to get back his kingdom, and he was thinking about injustice. So it would not have been easy for him. Just let go. And it's very important that therefore sannyasa is not going to be easy for him. One does not become sannyasi by decision alone.
Yeah, which
As
is
you
true.
said. Yeah.
Mm. See, even living a life of karma yoga is not an easy thing. See,
Yes.
having got a human life is itself a blessing. It means that you have matured enough, but so that you have the ability to use your intellect. But are we using the intellect or are we being a kripana? Kripana is a miser who dies, who leaves this physical body without realizing his true nature. So most of us may actually live, and most of these, if you're not directing your life's energies towards the highest goal, then we are no better than a miser. So living a life of karma yoga itself is challenging. Living in that yajna bhava, everything we do is an offering to the divine. And every outcome that we get is prasada from him. Are we able to do this? How much of so being taking to a lifestyle of karma yoga is not an easy thing. And what to talk of sannyasa? So the first step is to get exposed to this knowledge and then develop a bit of viveka and vairagya and
And
being aware.
sannyasa,
Yeah.
sannyasa, we can go through, means after achieving the karma yoga and steadiness and everything, then only the sannyasa can be um, fruitful. Otherwise, you will be again yo-yo state. So it will not be that what you are craving for, that highest, that you cannot achieve unless your mind is purified or your senses are centered or anything. So in Apada Sannyasa, he has already gone through these all stages, and he has done a tapas, whatever tapas means, means um, all type of tapas, and he's um, only the lifespan he has वो कब मिला होगा lifespan. So the next lifespan में, next birth में, he will start from there. So it's such a journey. Without karma yoga it is not possible. All three sannyasas, I think. Sorry. Apada sannyasa, it's okay when life is in danger. But after that, when the next life comes, he will get a good family or better situations. So, Brahmaraj, I have a question now. Without karma yoga, sannyasa, we cannot go towards sannyasa because there is no wisdom. So, only with wisdom, we will be centered, and we can follow the guidelines, or that discipline, or that committed lifestyle we can follow.
Yeah, but it also depends on your the sadhana that we've done. See, that's what Gurudev says. The only dhana that you take forward to your next life,
Sadhana.
if at all there is your sadhana. So how much of efforts have you put in? What is your purushartha towards this moksha will determine when you take to sannyasa and if at all you take. That is why,
Mm.
see, people like Shankaracharya, people like Ramana Maharshi, they didn't need to go through Gurudev. They didn't need to go through all the ashramas. From
Mm.
Brahmacharya directly, they took to sannyasa. So,
Mm.
so it all depends, which is what Krishna says. No, he reassures Arjuna in the 6th chapter when he says, "What if a person, while pursuing this, leaves the body without attaining moksha? What happens to him?
Mm.
Will he be like a yoga brashta, like a cloud that is just gone asunder without any direction?" Krishna reassures him. He says, "No, he will be born into a house which is conducive for his growth. He will take up the threads from where he left and he'll move forward." So all
Correct.
those examples of the sannyasis we see right now, they
Mm.
must have done enough in their previous. The samskara is
Janmaj.
so
Mm.
the sadhana is so strong and firm that they were able to take it forward. So wherever we are right now, each of us needs to look into our lives and see what is it. That is what we say even in our DSN when we say different types of seva warriors, butterfly, the how, the
Mm.
snake, and then the bee, and the different kinds of seva warriors. You have to understand, reflect within, and see where you are, and then move forward. The same way, each of us will have to see where am I, where do I stand, and what I need to do to fine tune the brain, to clean up the brain. All this is ultimately only to purify the mind, purify the mind of all its kalmashas, of all its, basically those three, raga, dvesha, bhaya, the three doorways to
Mhm.
hell, kama, krodha, and um,
Red ripples actually.
yeah, the shad
Ramakrod.
ripus,
Hmm.
avidya, kama, and karma. These three. So these basic three knots. So if you're able to live life with awareness, then we are inching towards karma yoga.
Thank
You said avidya, karma. What did you say? Three things.
Avidya, kama, and karma.
Vidya,
It is
karma.
only because of avidya that there is kama,
Hmm.
avidya of your true nature. Therefore, you think you have desires which take you outwardly, saying, oh, if I do this, I will feel happy.
Hmm.
So, not realizing that we are happiness. We don't need to go outwardly. So, therefore, that karma comes in. And with karma comes karma. And that brings us, goes us, in, keeps us in that quagmire of samsara, bahirmukha. And then from that, from kama, you comes all the raga, the offshoot of raga dveshas. I like this and I don't like this. And all our life, we're just getting caught in that whirlwind of this, of the samsara. So, but while living in samsara, karma yoga is while living in samsara, you tease out this raga dveshas. You continue to do what is to be done. Because we've seen in the second chapter when Krishna talks of raga dvesha, he says you'd never know. You think you've taken a hold of your raga dveshas, but some situation, and then you suddenly, the one raga surfaces up or dvesha surfaces up. So they're all hidden like those little mushrooms that are under the earth. When it rains, they just suddenly sprout up. So including that rasa, including that longing and that craving, they have to be eliminated. They have to be neutralized. So for that, only through action, only through interacting with people, interacting and doing your,
But that matra sparsha and means it will come uh, spontaneously. It is their nature. So that rasa has to be removed. That kama will come, but the rasa which is dormant, that has to be removed.
yeah.
Um, can we have this trail of happenings? Like you said, avidya. Out of avidya, you do some karma, and out of mm, that is desires, right? Kama, raga, dvesha. Kama is desires, right?
Yes. Hmm.
And out of that, raga, dvesha is mm, we have raga, dvesha, liking and disliking for something, and that's where we do the action, the karmas, and with unfulfilled desires, we have that kama bhavati sammohat.
Ragadvesha.
Hmm.
Smriti Smriti Buddhinasha. Buddhinashat Vinashat.
Yeah.
So the dhyayato vishayan pumsaha. So an akarma yogi is one who keeps meditating on the world of objects. Whereas a karma yogi keeps meditates on the highest while doing action.
I remember once means Gurudev said, "Na wise don't discuss events or objects." Mm. What was that line?
Gossip is when normal people, will talk about other people,
Hmm.
like, situations, events, this person, that person. Whereas as one evolves, then you lose that, there is that natural dispassion towards all this. So great people talk about idea. I mean, I don't know whether Gurudev said this or there is, um, it's just one of the inspirational statements somewhere. It says, great people think about ideas, think about, um, how to improve. So basically, it basically is to say where you are stuck. Gurudev said it very beautifully in describing the 18 chapters of the Gita. He says, if your mind is still stuck in me, my mind, you're still stuck in chapter 1, Arjuna Vishada Yoga. If you have started inquiring, what is this? Who am I? Why am I miserable? Then you've just started getting into the portals of Sankhya Yoga. And he very nicely described how each one can get, based on his evolution, which yoga he's in.
Like Bahirmukha is a fragmented mind, so we can not go in means in. So the Antarmukhi Sadasuki, that that proverb comes then. Gurudev many times said, no, Antarmukhi Sadasuki. So fragmented mind, we have to means collect and come back to ourselves again and again.
Anyone want to share? We can read further then. न कर्मणामनारम्भा नैष्कर्म्यं पुरुषोऽश्नुते न च सन्न्यसनादेव सिद्धिं समधिगच्छति. Purushah, a person, karmanam, of activities, anarambhat, by non-performance, naishkarmyam, the state of actionlessness, na ashnute, does not gain, cha, and sanyasanat, merely by renunciation, siddhim, success, na samadhi gachati, does not attain, purushah, पुरुषः कर्मणाम् अनारम्भात् नैष्कर्म्यम् न अनुष्णुते न अश्नुते sorry पुरुषः कर्मणाम् अनारंभार नैष्कर्म्यम न अश्नुते च संन्यसनात् एव सिद्धिं न समधि गच्छति. A person does not gain the state of actionlessness by the non-performance of activities, nor does the person attain success, that is liberation, out of mere renunciation of sannyasa. A person does not gain the state of actionlessness by the non-performance of activities, nor does the person attain success, liberation, out of mere renunciation, sannyasa. We have seen that there are two lifestyles, nishthas, Jnana Yoga Nishtha and Karma Yoga Nishtha. These two nishthas are for two types of people, the sannyasis and the karma yogis, respectively. All those seeking liberation who are other than sannyasis are karma yogis. Here Krishna explains why this is so. There is a connection between karma yoga and sannyasa, jnana yoga. For a jnana yogi, the pursuit of knowledge alone is yoga, for which he or she must have freedom from the hold of ragadveshas. Ragadveshas have been described by Gita itself as a source of all problems. Therefore, ragadveshas must be taken care of before one becomes sannyasi. If you become a sannyasi without karma yoga, how are you going to neutralize your ragadveshas? There are ragas, desires for certain things, and for a sannyasi, it is impossible to fulfill them. Dveshas for those situations that one wants to avoid will also be there with no possibility of being neutralized. As a karma yogi, however, you have a field in which your raga dveshas can be neutralized. Thus, karma yoga becomes the means for jnana yoga, and jnana yoga becomes the means for moksha. We have seen how the word sannyasa can have two meanings. One being your lifestyle, implying the renunciation of all relationships and activities in order to pursue knowledge alone. The other meaning is that by knowledge one gives up all action. Jnanena karma sannyasaha. Shankara often looked Shankara often took it this way. Sannyasa as an end in itself, knowledge being sannyasa.
Can you
This
read this paragraph again?
yeah, the earlier one or this one.
Yeah, yeah, this one.
Okay. We have seen how the word sannyasa can have two meanings. One being a lifestyle, implying the renunciation of all relationships and activities in order to pursue knowledge alone. The other meaning is that by knowledge one gives up all actions. Jnanena karma sannyasaha. Shankara often took it this way, sannyasa as an end in itself, knowledge being sannyasa. The two meanings he said, the one is renunciation of relationships and activities, and the other meaning is that by knowledge one gives up all action.
Thank you.
This is because sarva karma sannyasa, the giving up of all actions, takes place in knowledge. Through knowledge, the doership of Atma is nullified. Because there is no doership in the Atma, even as one performs action, it is not really being done by the Atma. Only when this is clearly understood is there the giving up of all the activity through knowledge. Jnanena karma sannyasa. This is what is meant by the word sarva karma sannyasa, which is equivalent to moksha. I think I'll read this paragraph again. We have seen how the word sannyasa can have two meanings. One being a lifestyle implying renunciation of all relationships and activities in order to pursue knowledge alone. The other meaning is that by knowledge one gives up all actions. Jnanena karma sannyasa. Shankara often took it this way. Sannyasa as an end in itself, knowledge being sannyasa. This is because sarva karma sannyasa, the giving up of all actions, takes place in knowledge. Through knowledge, the doership of Atma is nullified. Because there is no doership in the Atma, even as one performs actions, it is not really being done by the Atma. Only when this is clearly understood is there the giving up of all the activities through knowledge, jnanena karma sannyasa. This is what is meant by the word sarva karma sannyasa, which is equivalent to moksha.
That Vidvat is the wise Nanena Sarva Sannyasa, but this is what was the word? Karma Sannyasa, Purun Nanena. What is the
Sarva
name for that? Huh? Sarva Karma Sannyasi. But
sannyasa.
before that, only Vidvat and Vividisha Sannyasi, two
Yeah.
lifestyles were there. So one is
Mm.
with the knowledge, and it's the other was for the gaining the knowledge of self only. But
Mm.
here with the knowledge, the sannyasa is there. So again, this is synonymous to the Vidvat sannyasa then, Sarva Karma sannyasi, because he is
He, sarva karma sannyasi is, I think, with not Vidvat,
Vidvat.
Vividisha sannyasi. Because he is, yes, yes, Vidvat sannyasa.
Because with
Correct.
knowledge, he is
With
living
knowledge.
that
Correct.
duties or
Correct.
karmas.
Yeah. So there are two meanings over here. It has been said. Someone renunciates for the pursuit of knowledge. That is Vividisha sannyasa. And the one through the knowledge, he has given up the
Karma,
karma. Yeah.
responsibilities, doership, basically.
Correct. You're right. This is Vividisha and Vidvat. Yes, Brahmaraji?
Yeah, there is a little more regarding sannyasa. One is only a simple lifestyle wherein you give up all your obligations of nitya karma, naimitika karma, prayaschitta karma, and then you're just pursuing self knowledge. Another meaning, which actually Shankara is explaining, is the jnanena sarva karma sannyasa. It is a state of mind. It's that naishkarmya where it is actionlessness. There is action happening. Still, the person is in a non-doer state, total non-doer state.
That
So that is
not
that
lipyate means that karma not lipyate. That was some
it will
shows
not
the
affect him.
word.
It will not affect him. So, well, in order to get to that state, one of the ways, one of the lifestyles is through sannyasa. Whereas even a karma yogi, following karma, for following karma yoga and pursuing knowledge can also reach that stage of jnanena karma sannyasa. That is why in the beginning itself, Krishna very clearly stated there are two lifestyles on this path. It is not that you attain moksha only if you take to sannyasa. Sannyasa is jnanena sarva karma sannyasa. That is why we have so many enlightened people, householders who have been enlightened, vanaprasthis who have been enlightened. So that is the second understanding that we need to have with respect to sannyasa.
Finish this paragraph, and or should we leave it for tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll leave it to you,
Okay.
Mrinal.
Yeah, I think we can do this tomorrow. NASA means 404, we can start tomorrow again. Because there is a meaning of sannyasa. We can do this again. I'll read this. It's not going to take much time. Nyasa means renunciation, and sannyasa means perfect or complete renunciation. Thus, sarva karma sannyasa means perfect renunciation of all action, the renunciation being in the form of knowledge itself. This knowledge is not possible without a certain mind. Such a mind is accomplished by karma yoga, performing action with the proper attitude, as we saw in the previous chapter. And we'll see again in this chapter. Karma yoga enables you to give up all karmas in the sense that it becomes a means for sarva karma sannyasa. लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम सर्वं कृष्णार्पणमस्तु ओम शांति शांति शांति
is accepting this moment, living every moment totally with depth. Let us keep our spine erect and body relaxed and eyes closed. Relax your shoulders. Keep a big smile on your face. You're sitting like the statue of Buddha, very serene and with a serene smile on your face. Relax your body. Let's take a deep breath in and breathe out. Become aware of your chest region, throat and chest region. If you notice some tension in the body, just let it be. Except those parts of the body where you feel a tension, the other parts are in comfort. Other parts are at peace. Become aware of that also. There are many good things about you and inside of you. Acknowledge them. They will never leave you. And the negative aspect you may see in you is never going to stay with you forever. They are all guests for some time. Let them be. Sit with the total acceptance of yourself the way you are at this very moment. Total acceptance of what is now here lead us to deeper meditation. Let go of all the effort. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let go of all your effort and be in this emptiness. And slowly and gradually become aware of body and surroundings. And you may Gently open it.